Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 41 of the Spear and Sundays podcast. And you were just listening to some classic tunes from your boy Christopher Ruse from his upcoming LP. I haven't decided on a name for it yet, but no, that's a little fucking instrumental that I've been making for the next mixtape. I thought I would just give you guys a little preview on what I've been working on right now with my mixtape for the second one. If you haven't heard the first one, Google Christopher Ruse, not very good yet, and you'll be able to listen to it for free, or you can buy it on iTunes, or it's on Spotify. It's on fucking every kind of music service, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, YouTube, whatever the fuck you want. I just thought I would put it everywhere. It's meant to be free, so don't feel like you should buy the iTunes version, but if you prefer to have your music on iTunes, like I really enjoy that, and when musicians put their mixtapes on iTunes, if I like them, I usually buy it there, because I'm just that kind of cunt. I just can't pirate stuff, you know? There's all these people who pirate shit. For me, I'm not talking about my mixtape now, right? I'm just talking about pirating in general. I can't fucking pirate something. It'd be hypocritical as hell for me to pirate stuff. It's the same reason why I don't use AdBlock, because AdBlock fucks me. And it'd be hypocritical of me to use AdBlock and then complain when other people use it on my shit. But I'm the same with pirating. Like I used to pirate shit when I was younger, but then I just when I started actually making stuff and putting effort into creating, I really, really started to sympathize with the artist. And you can do the whole thing. It's not stealing. Yeah, it is. Okay, right? It definitely is, because, right? Who the fuck can't afford $10 for an iTunes album? No one. Everybody has $10. If you have internet access to pirate an album, you can afford the album. Do you know what I'm saying? And look, I don't fucking judge people if they pirate, but let's not beat around the bush here. What you guys are doing is you're taking something that someone made and you're not paying them for it. It's stealing. And they do the whole thing of, it's not, copying isn't theft. Theft is when you take something and there's one less of it. Yeah, how about when you go on a roller coaster ride and the roller coaster is going anyway and you just fucking jump over the barrier, you don't buy a ticket and you jump on. Is that stealing? You didn't take anything from anyone. It was going to go anyway. Is that stealing? I think it is. But you didn't take anything, so it's not theft. What about if you go into a massage parlor and some little Thai hottie gives you a massage and then she goes, happy ending? And then you go, yeah, all right. And then she gives you a wristy and you come all over her fucking towels. And then you get up and she's like, $20 plus $10 for happy ending. And then you just walk out. Is that stealing? Yeah, it still is. They provided a service and you didn't pay for it. And I'm not trying to be a cunt. I'm just saying, can we stop this whole pirating isn't theft stuff? Like, here's when I understand piracy, right? That being said, I do understand piracy. It's because I live in Australia. With so many TV shows and shit, if they make it almost impossible to buy, then yeah, fucking pirate that shit for sure. Like, I pirate Louis C.K.'s television show, and even he has come out and said, yeah, Australia has no way of pirating my stuff. I get people coming to my shows with $20 going, hey man, I downloaded your entire season because I couldn't buy it. Here, have $20. And even he was like, yeah, there's they want to buy it, but there's nothing that I can do about it. Because it's the networks control how it's all licensed and all that kind of shit. So the way that I see it is, if something is readily available to you and it's a fair price, if you download it for free, you pirate it illegally, it's stealing. And that's totally fine. That's fine. You know, I steal a lot of shit. Well, I used to. I don't anymore. Right? I used to steal shit when I was young, And I didn't, you know, fucking take a banana from the fruit shop and be like, it's not stealing, you can just grow another one. I was like, yeah, I've fucking stolen and I'm a cunt, all right? That's all I want from people. If you're gonna steal shit from artists, just admit you're a bit of a cunt, and that's totally cool. Because, you know, the thing is, right, the reason why I decided to stop pirating is because once I had the perspective of making something with the expectation, like, obviously, the main priority for artists, no matter what you are, comedy, music, or whatever, the main priority is to do the best thing ever, the funniest joke, the best comedy DVD, the best album you can make. But then, of course, probably the second priority is to make a profit out of it, because you can't just go around, you know, pumping 30 grand into an album, paying producers and singers and all this kind of shit, and be like, I was just really happy with how that sounded, because you're going to be fucking homeless. Profit is a part of making your stuff better. You know, the more money you bring in, the more you can put into your art, unless you're a cunt and you just want to spend it on airplanes and hookers. So once I had the perspective of, if I spend this amount of money and then I put it into a video, hopefully, if it goes well enough, I'll make that amount of money back, and then I can, if I make more, I can put more money into other stuff, and I can, you know, maybe I can buy a t-shirt, and maybe I can get off the streets. You know, that kind of fucking idea. When I had that perspective, that's what made me stop pirating, because I felt it was unfair. Because I think the whole, I understand the copying is not theft argument, but when it comes down to it, most of the time, you're just taking from just some dude or some girl who really wanted to make a nice album. And they were like, it sucks. I could have used that $10. You know what I mean? I don't know. Do what you want. Who the fuck am I? What are you listening to me, huh? Why would you listen to me? I'm just some cunt who's pissed off every vegan on the planet. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about World Vegan Day, right? Let's have a little conversation. I thought about responding to all of this in a video, but I don't think I want to drag out all the fucking drama. I think that, right, let me just start from the start, ladies and gentlemen. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been pissing people off with comedy since 2012. And we've done, I would say, in my career, I have indisputably done some bad things that should have got hate. Like some mean shit. Absolutely. I definitely have. This is not one of them, right? So I made a video called Stop World Vegan Day. I noticed that World Vegan Day was coming up. And basically the premise of World Vegan Day is on November 1st, vegans encourage other people to go vegan for the day. So, you know, to raise awareness about that cause and help everybody go vegan, all that kind of shit. And hopefully people will see that it's not that hard, and then maybe they'll go vegan for a week, and then maybe a month, and then maybe the rest of their life, and then all the animals will be saved and nothing will ever die again. That's the premise of World Vegan Day. So I saw a poster for this, and I thought, fuck, what would the opposite of World Vegan Day be? That'd be funny. What could the opposite of World Vegan Day be? So I was like, opposite of World Vegan Day. I could do like World Meat Day. Nah, that's fucking. I could do what was World Vegan Day? I could do Stop World Vegan. Oh, Stop World Vegan Day. That sounds cool. What if everybody else who wasn't a vegan ate twice as much meat, and that would that would even out the effects of all of the people who would not eat meat for that day, and then it would make it even again, and then World Vegan Day would be cancelled. That's pretty fucking funny. That's a funny little meme. And then I wrote the video, right? I wrote the video, and I basically did it like a parody of those meat ads and also political campaigns. where it was me in a suit doing a pitch to camera, talking about it like it was this serious tragedy that needed to be stopped. World Vegan Day was a horrible thing that needed to be stopped. It was just so over the top satire. Like, I had one guy who ate twice as much meat as he normally did. That was a normal one. And then I had a vegetarian who thought vegans were annoying, so to piss them off, she was going to drink milk. And then I ended it with a Muslim who doesn't eat bacon, so he's a strict Muslim, but he hates vegans so much that he forsakes his faith and eats bacon for the first time just to annoy vegans. And then I told everybody to like and share it. And it went really well. It got like 1.7 million views. It should hit 2 million views in the next couple weeks. And what I thought that video was just so over-the-top satire. Like, clearly I didn't actually get a Muslim to fucking forsake his belief system and eat bacon to annoy vegans. Clearly I didn't get a vegetarian to drink twice as much milk as she normally does. But vegans just lost their shit. And before I released it, I thought that this angry, preachy vegan stereotype, I thought it was just a stereotype. You know, the angry, preachy vegan that yells at people and does all that kind of stuff. I thought it was just a stereotype, but they're fucking real. So I released this video. I got 1.7 million views, and overall, it was overwhelmingly a positive response. I'm going to be mainly focusing on the negative response to it, but I want to make really clear the vast, vast majority, like 95% of people fucking loved the video and thought it was really funny. It got 1.7 million views, and there were, like, for example, there were more shares on the post than comments, including the positive comments. So don't look at the fucking comments and think that everybody hated it, because it was definitely went really well. But I wanted to talk about the negative response because I think that's more interesting. So I put this out, and a lot of vegans hated it. And a lot of them took it really seriously. And they thought that I hated vegans, or that I seriously wanted everybody to eat twice as much meat as they normally do, or I was some fucking anti-vegan campaigner. People were saying, oh, this was sponsored by the meat industry, and all this kind of cooked shit, talking about how I'm just basically an evil person and how I'm making fun of animal torture and all this kind of shit. And before I go into responding to that, I want to give my actual thoughts on vegans. Sorry if I'm a little bit rambly today. I was out until like fucking 5 a.m. with the cancer boys from America, MaxMoeFoe and iDubbbz. So here's my serious, non-joking thoughts on veganism, right? I think being vegan, ultimately, when it comes to eating animals, I feel that life eats life. It always has, it always will. We're at the top of the food chain, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with killing shit and then eating it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Obviously, it needs to be done as humanely as possible. But nothing really wants to die. Do you know what I mean? Nothing wants to die. So as humanely as possible, I'm talking about, making it painless. Because at the end of the day, killing something, it's not, killing and humane doesn't really go well hand in hand to me. But I think that there's nothing wrong with eating other living things as long as you kill them properly. However, so I don't agree with vegans on that point. However, environmentally speaking, vegans are 100% correct, and everybody else is wrong. The meat industry is completely fucking the planet in terms of how much water it takes to produce all of the food that the cows eat, how much food, how much fucking money and time and how much land gets cleared to put more space for animals and all this kind of shit, and all the transport and running all the machines and all the methane that the cows and all the sheep put into the air through farts. is fucking the planet. So environmentally speaking, vegans are 100% correct, and everybody else is wrong on that point. And what they're doing is really benefiting the planet. And if you're a vegan, fucking good on you. You're doing a good thing. And I'll be straight up, I'm not vegan because I'm selfish. And I try to do... It is a selfish choice, but you know what? You know what else is a selfish choice? Fucking driving a car, wearing clothes that you don't know where they're made from, keeping your money in a bank. Banks are destroying the world. Like, there's so much shit that you cannot partake in for moral reasons that you are contributing to in other areas. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, while I might not be a vegan, I don't drive. I use public transport as often as possible. I fucking walk everywhere I go, even if it's really far away. I genuinely enjoy walking. What else? There's shit like I don't partake in crazy tourist shit when I go overseas. I did it once and I'm never going to do it again. I don't fucking... When I do buy meat, I make sure that it's all free range stuff, and I try and make sure that it comes from reputable places. The same with my clothes. Where I can, where possible, I try to make sure that the clothes that I wear are made by people who aren't 12-year-old Vietnamese kids getting whipped by a pedophile while he makes an iPhone. Do you know what I mean? And I think from what I got from a lot of people is to dismiss someone because they don't help the planet in your way is a bit fucked. Like, I understand if someone goes, fuck the planet, it's ruined anyway, I'm just going to do whatever I want, I'm not going to recycle all that kind of shit, and I'm going to eat meat, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I understand that, because we all know people like that who just have the idea that the planet's fucked, we can't fix it, so, who cares? But to do all that kind of shit and all the vegan stuff and then hate somebody because they're not, it doesn't make any sense, because for all you know, they could be making a bigger impact than your food choices in other areas. Like, everybody does their own thing. And there's the whole fucking argument that, but the food and the meat industry is the worst industry and destroys the planet the most out of all of the industries. And it's like, yeah, but if you put your fucking being vegan and then you stack that up against some guy who, doesn't drive, recycles all the time, does a whole bunch of other shit, whatever he does, he's a real fucking hippie, you could be evened out. And you're doing the same kind of positive impact. And I think that the reason why I cop so much hate is because being vegan is an emotional choice, right? It's not a logical one. Like, logic comes later. And I'm not saying that being vegan is illogical. There is logic in it, but initially that choice is an emotional one for the vast majority of people, because how do vegans get most people to go vegan or vegetarian or whatever? They show you videos of horrible fucking treatment of animals, and then you cry and you go, oh my god, I don't want to contribute to this, the poor little chicken's getting minced up, and then you go vegan. That's an emotional decision. And then you find out all of the other ways that make sense, like the environment and all the various fucking... I already said being vegan is... I already said the fucking reasons. But it was really crazy to me to get that amount of hate on something that was obviously so clearly satire and a joke, and it was so over the top that I was surprised that anyone would take it seriously. Like, people are telling me that I was going to fucking destroy the planet, and I was the reason that many more animals were going to fucking die, and all this kind of shit, and how I'm making fun of animal torture, and how I think that animals dying is funny, and just assuming a whole bunch of stuff about my motivations behind the video. Let me tell you my motivations, right? People were saying that I was fucking evil and I hated vegans and all this kind of shit. My motivation was, I saw a poster for World Vegan Day. I thought, what would be the opposite of that? It's not World Vegan. That'd be funny. What if it was like a campaign video and it was like a tragedy, and that way people wouldn't take it seriously, so it would obviously be a comedy, and then I wouldn't piss too many people off. That's funny. That could go viral, actually. If I did it in 2 minutes, and then I had like what if I had a vegetarian in it and then a Muslim who eats bacon? That's funny. And that makes it so ridiculous that no one could take it seriously. All right, I'm going to do that. And then I wrote the video. That's like that was my entire thought process from hearing about World Vegan Day to making the video. That was fucking it. There was no nefarious plot to destroy vegans and kill animals and ruin the planet. It was just literally, what would the opposite of that be? And then there was also, of course, the notion that it would piss a whole bunch of vegans off, which is always funny. And that's not saying that I want to piss vegans off more than anybody else. I just always think it's funny when a group of people is fucking angry. Because that's the thing about groups of people. As soon as you call yourself a vegan or a Christian or an atheist, and you align your whole life to an ideology, no matter what it is. It could even be a fucking mother, right? And you join a group of mothers or feminism or even men's rights activism as well. And you just think you're so fucking right. For some reason, you think that you can't be made fun of. And that goes back to my point where I was saying, environmentally speaking, vegans are 100% correct. They're 100% right. Agriculture and the meat industry is fucking destroying the planet. But being correct does not mean you are exempt from someone making a joke about you. If 2 + 2 is 4, and that's a fact, that doesn't mean someone can't make a joke out of the 4. Do you know what I mean? The answer. That's a really simple fucking explanation. But that's the truth. Right? It's like if someone's birthday is on January, if someone had a birthday and then you tell a joke about their fucking birthday, that's true and that actually happened, but that doesn't mean that you can't make a joke out of it. Just because you're correct, just because you're doing the right thing. Maybe that's a better thing. Just because you're doing the right thing and you're a good person doesn't mean that people can't make fun of you. I've heard plenty of jokes about fucking genuinely good people in the world that are just really funny. And clearly, and part of the reason why they're funny is because you know that person is actually good, right? If I make a joke calling Mother Teresa a fucking rapist, she still did a lot of good shit. And that's part of why it's funny. Because if you go around or someone like, I don't know, fucking Jesus Christ, who did a whole bunch of amazing things, assuming that he's real, and you make some jokes about him, just because he was a good dude and he was kissing some hooker feet, doesn't mean that joke's not funny and it can't be made. So that was the whole kind of thing with the vegan, and there was a massive, massive backlash. And I don't think I've ever had that amount of hate before. I'm not talking like in numbers, but I'm talking like actual passionate person to person. I hate you. I've never gotten that many death threats. I've never had that many fucking, if I see you, I'm going to bash you. I've never got that many, you're a fucking disgusting person, and like pure fucking hatred. I've never had that amount of passionate hatred before from a video from people. And I'm not talking numbers because, again, vast 97% of people fucking love the video. And all that really said to me is, well, this is definitely happening again next November 1st, and I'm going to make T-shirts. Should have made T-shirts in the first one. I could have sold a fucking 1,000 shirts. But yeah, I think it's a really interesting thing, and I think that if you are a vegan, and out of the hundreds of messages from vegans that I got telling me to kill myself, telling me to die, telling me that I'm a horrible person, there was really only a few people that wanted clarification. Say, hey, I saw your video. I thought it was pretty funny. Just so you know, you don't actually think that, right? And I'm like, no, it's just jokes. You know, it's all satire, over the top satire. My Muslim mate, there was no. If you look in the pan, there's no bacon in there. He's not fucking cooking bacon. So don't worry about it. Keep doing you. If you're vegan, good for you. Thanks for pulling your weight and helping the planet. And then it was fine. All you got to do is just have, hey, when you said this, were you serious? Because that's the kind of thing where it's like when if someone vehemently disagrees with a comedian, all of a sudden their joke is no longer a joke, it's a statement. And it's the same shit that I was saying last week about when I was joking about Dreamworld, the tragedy. Just because I make a joke about Dreamworld doesn't mean I'm laughing at the tragedy. Just because I make a joke about vegans doesn't mean I don't think you guys are right. I do. You guys are correct, environmentally speaking. I don't agree with you on we shouldn't kill animals. But environmentally speaking, you guys are fucking so correct. But that does not mean I'm not going to make fun of you. Because I make fun of everybody. And that's kind of all I really had to say. So yeah, stop World Vegan Day. Alright, what else are we going to talk about today? Oh yes, it's the time has fucking come, ladies and gentlemen. The time is here. It is now. And even though I'm a little bit fucked and I'm incredibly tired, I'm also very, very excited. I'm going to tell you, after I do this, I'm going to tell you all about PAX and iDubbbz and MaxMoeFoe and what we did last night, all that kind of shit. But for now, we have the podcast's very first sponsor. It's happened, ladies and gentlemen. You remember I was talking about trying to find sponsors? Well, here we go. And this is the thing, right? I'm going to be doing sponsors in the middle of podcasts from now on. And don't worry, I'm not going to do fucking spamming shit. They're always the ads. Here's my rules when I was looking for a sponsor. I want to be able to read out the copy live. I don't want to have a pre-recorded thing read by some American voice with music behind it talking about how great their service is and it's all fucking horse shit. And the product has to be something that I genuinely think is a good product that you guys would like and something that I would use personally. Those were my 3 rules. Oh, also, I have to be able to fuck around and make the ad reads funny because I'm not going to be one of those guys with a podcast where as soon as he starts talking about the ads, you fucking turn it off because that sucks, right? A few of the podcasts I listen to, some of the ad sections are really funny and genuinely my favorite part of the fucking podcast. So that's what I really wanted to do with this one. And these guys that jumped on board, these sponsors, they are actually fans of me. They reached out because they saw me do you remember my video about podcasts on my channel where I was talking about ads and I did an ad for Audible or something. I showed a rejected ad for Audible and I just trashed Audible. They actually reached out and they said, we saw your ad that got rejected and we thought it was so funny. Can you do something like that for us? So that's how I came into contact with these guys, and they're obviously fucking sick cunts, and I spoke to the guy who runs the company on Skype for about an hour last week. He's just a cool dude, and he's just some fucking dude, you know? He's not some evil corporate entity in a suit trying to take over the world. He's just a cunt with his own little fucking dream like me, and he's got his business that's going pretty well, and he's our first fucking sponsor for Spearhead Sunday. So, please welcome our very first sponsor, Wrist Society. This is the copy that they've given me that I'm going to read. Are you ready? I'm excited. It's my first little ad. All right, this is what they sent me to read. What's the number 1 compliment you'll receive this year? Nice dick, Lewis. Right, okay. What's the number 1 compliment you'll receive this year? If you're not wearing a watch, none. Because men are never complimented on anything else. That's right, you've never got a compliment. I've never, ever gotten a compliment unless it's about my watch. No one's ever gone, hey, Lewis, I like your jacket. Never, right? Ever. I've only ever gotten compliments on my fucking watch, even when I'm not wearing it, okay? Because men are never complimented on anything else. Get a sick watch every month from Wrist Society. Having gone viral multiple times on Reddit and featured on GQ magazine, Wrist Society is shaking up the overpriced watch industry by offering a new watch every month, starting at just $29 a month. And best of all, they ship worldwide, wide. Use code Sundays to receive 10% off and go to my special link, wristsociety.com/Lou, L-E-W, Wrist Society. So these guys, what they are, is they're a watch company that send you a new watch every month. And that's a fucking cool idea because every man, this is not copyright, this is actually my genuine opinion. Every dude needs a fucking watch. And I've had a look at the watches on their website, and a lot of them are actually really cool. And this is something that's fucking cool, because I think people notice when you... I've only got one watch, right? And people fucking notice when you've only got one watch, because they're fucking right. Watches are like $200, $250 fucking dollars. And here's the thing, when you only have one watch, because they're that expensive, you can't afford to get another one, people fucking notice because you'll wear it. You'll buy the watch really new, and then you'll plan your whole outfit around your new watch, and you'll look really good and real classy, and you'll get some compliments on it. But then, then the fucking next day, you got to wear a different outfit, but you still want to wear your new watch, and it doesn't fucking match, and you just look like a bit of a dick with your fucking mismatched watch outfit going on. You look like a fuckhead because you've got like a formal watch and you're wearing shorts and a t-shirt because you thought you looked like James Bond in the Maya shop when they sold it to you, and like, oh yeah, it's very classy, it suits you, it's very masculine, but you know, it's not over the top, it's nice and classy. And you're like, yeah man, I wear a tuxedo every day. And then you realize that you're just a fucking loser cunt who walks around in his thongs and a Bintang singlet, and he looks like a dickhead with his fucking $300 Armani watch. So you know what you need to do? You need to go down to fucking Wrist Society and get yourself a watch every month, so that, you know, if you sign up for that shit fucking 6 months, you got 6 watches, and that should fucking match any outfit, right? Because otherwise cunts are gonna fucking know, because I've done that. I'm such a fucking idiot. I've got one nice watch, and it worked. This is the watch. I got one nice watch, and it suits about fucking a third of my outfits and looks fucking stupid on any of the others. So you know what? I might even fucking join this crap. Alright, and then I've got more shit, right? But Lewis, why would I... This is what they've written. But Lewis, why would I want... Who's saying this? Do I need to get someone else to read this, or am I just talking to myself? I'll read... Next week I'll get someone else to read it. But Lewis, why would I want a new watch every month? Watches can be one of the most important... Okay, no, this is the answer. Okay, alright, so... Okay, this is... Pretend there's 2 people. But Lewis, why would I want a new watch every month? And now this is me. Watches can... Well, let me answer that question for you. Watches can be one of the most important factors when it comes to style, especially for guys. When it comes to accessorizing, let's face it, men are limited, which is why watches generally receive more compliments than anything else we wear. Wearing a watch can show you how great your sense of style is, especially when you have the ability to make multiple watches work with any fit. To put it simply, wearing different watches illustrates diversity. Diversity makes you interesting. There's a certain feeling with having a watch collection and picking out a watch knowing it's the perfect timepiece to suit your day. Wrist Society understands that watches are more than just to tell the time. Watches tell a story of who you are. And that's true, Wrist Society. I agree, because when I see a guy and he's wearing a nice watch and it's got Roman numerals all over it, I'm like, that guy's a fucking intellectual. He knows what that says. I fucking don't. Whereas when I see a guy with a watch and instead of numbers, every hour it just says rape, I'm like, fuck. Cunt's a rapist. And Wrist Society doesn't sell any rape watches. I'm fucked now. They're going to pull the advertising. I just did the... Look, this is what I'm trying to say. You need to go to wristsociety.com/Lou and you'll get 10% off your subscription every month. And it's only $29 anyway. So fucking get yourself a nice watch. That's actually a good point, because I've only got one watch and I would actually like to have a few. So this is a cool fucking thing for you guys out there. And Wrist Society rissociety.com/Lou. At least go and have a look and check out the fucking links. It'll also the link to it will also be on my podcast fucking page as well. I'll have a little fucking link there for you guys to see. So yeah, check out Riz Society. If you're not into watches, at the very least, go and check them out because they are our first podcast sponsors, and they were so fucking cool. They gave me heaps of freedom. There's no way I could say all that kind of shit about any other company. So these guys are really cool. They're just run by two dudes, I think, and they're just fucking people. They're not some huge company. They're just fucking people, and they've really got a passion for watches. So I'm all about it. rissociety.com/Lou. I probably should spell it. Risk Society is hard to say. WRISTSOCIETY.com/Lou. rissociety.com/Lou. Do whatever you want, guys. Check it out. And in future, the ads reads will be a little bit shorter. I just wanted to give a lot of special love to Risk Society because they're our first fucking supporters, and that's really cool. Spearhead Sundays is getting our own little sponsors. All right, what else I want to talk about? I went to PAX yesterday, which is some fucking video game nerd virgin convention. I wasn't planning on going. Normally I like these kind of things, but I always spend too much fucking money. You know what it is? Because you know what? These conventions are just fucking scams. But I love getting scammed by them. Like, there's scams that you hate, like the African prince emailing you. You hate that scam, but a convention is a massive fucking scam that I really enjoy getting ripped off by, right? Because a convention, let me tell you what a convention is. A whole bunch of shops hire out a venue, and then they charge you $65 to come in and spend more money than you normally would because you're surrounded by other people doing the same thing. That's what a convention is, no matter what it is. Comic book convention, video game convention, gun convention, doesn't matter what the fuck it is. Everybody who is there to spend more money than they should on shit that they don't need after they've already paid a rip-off price to enter. What are you paying? What's the ticket that you pay for to get in? PAX is $65 to get in, and you get in there and there's just shops. There's shops and there's demonstrations of products for you to buy. That's what you're fucking paying for. And you know what? I fucking love it. I love getting ripped off by all these conventions, and I don't blame anybody for getting ripped off by them because they're a fucking good time. But let's be clear, they are a massive scam, but I love it. Okay, so I wasn't going to go to PAX because I didn't want to do the waste. I did the Comic Con earlier in the year and I spent too much money. I didn't want to go to another one and spend too much money. But my friends MaxMoeFoe, who I've known for 4 years actually, he's a YouTuber if you don't know him. MaxMoeFoe was coming down to Melbourne for PAX. And also iDubbbz was coming down from LA, and I've known iDubbbz for almost a year now, just through online. We've been talking quite a bit because I like his stuff and he's a big fan of my stuff as well. So it was really cool to meet Ian. I'm just going to call him Ian. I'm not going to say iDubbbz because iDubbbz is a fucking weird thing to call someone like a fucking iPad. But yeah, so MaxMoeFoe and Ian were... Max and Ian, I'm just going to use fucking names now. All right, so Max and Ian were coming down to Melbourne, and they're going to be here for a few days. So I linked up with them yesterday at about 12, and I got home at 5 in the morning. So what we did is we went to a bar, and we just had drinks, and everybody did the usual thing of, oh, Lewis, you should fucking drink and get drunk for the first time. I wonder what you're like when you're drunk. And then I said, no, I'm not going to get it. I don't want to do it. Please just start. I just want to have water. I'll have a Coke. I'll have a lemon lime bitters, and I'll tell you all that it's got alcohol in it. Just to shake your cunts up. And we did that whole meme, and that was a lot of fun, and they're really cool guys. We filmed a little bit of shit. We didn't film any proper videos, but I think I'll probably be in a little bit of vlog footage, Max's and Ian's, I think, depending on... Probably more likely to be Max's. I'm not sure if Ian was filming for his vlog. There were 2 cameras. I don't know if it was fucking for both of them, but I know that there's a whole bunch of footage with me and they're having a laugh with the boys. So that was really cool. We had a drink for a couple hours and then they went home to write. I went home to charge my phone. Then we came back out and we went to the Twitch after party, and holy fuck, I've never seen so many nerds pretending not to be nerds in my life. Because when you're at PAX, right, there's nerds everywhere, myself included, nerds fucking everywhere, and they're all just like, I'm a nerd, and this is my passion. And I don't care how I smell. That's the whole thing, right? That's what PAX is. But then the Twitch after party was at a nightclub, and of course, the only people going to a Twitch fucking after party are nerds. But we're in a nightclub now, and everybody's dressed up, and there's 600 people in there and 3 girls are there and they've got their tits out and they look nice. So everyone's trying to pretend like they didn't spend 6 hours jacking it yesterday because they came across some more Overwatch porn, right? And it was very funny watching all of these fucking nerds and virgins dance in a nightclub self-consciously trying to figure out, oh, is this normal? Is this what normal people do? You guys can't tell, but I'm dancing very awkwardly just to myself. But yeah, that was a lot of fun, and I must have met at least 100 people there that night, which is really cool. And if I met you and got a photo, thanks for being cool. No one was weird. There was one kind who was fucking weird. He wasn't a fan. He was just an asshole. But yeah, Max, Ian, and I, and then also there with Anything for Views, Chad, and then a whole bunch of other people that they knew. We were just fucking hanging out. We were there from 9 until about 3. And I think that's the longest time I've ever been in a club for. And I genuinely enjoyed myself. One of the only times I've ever enjoyed nightclubs. So that was really cool to see the boys. And then we ended up we did the ratty thing where we went to Hungry Jack's at 4 in the morning. And, no, actually, before that, right, we ended up at 2 girls' hotel because they said they had a pool. So they were like, hey, we've got a pool in our hotel, because I think they came down for PAX and they got a hotel, just 2 girls by themselves together. So we went back to their hotel because they said they had a pool. So I'm like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, heated pool at like 3 in the morning. This would be awesome. So we go up to the hotel with the girls, and then we go in and the pool's closed. So I'm like, fuck, well, we might as well fuck around, and we all jump in the sauna fully clothed at 3 in the morning, and there's like 5 of us, and we're all in the sauna with clothes on, and then the staff come in and kick us out because obviously we're not staying there, and they were really pissed off. But we were allowed to go back to the girls' hotel rooms, and so we got to the hotel rooms with the girls, and then it was just weird because we didn't have any interest in the girls. I think they were a little bit keen, but we didn't have any interest in them. We just wanted the pool, so we go back to the hotel room and fuck, we're cunts. So we go to the hotel room, and then we chill for about 2 minutes with the girls, and the girls are talking, and then both the girls go into the bathroom and do their makeup, and then we all leave. Without saying goodbye, nothing. We just all fucking left. They would have come out of the bathroom, we wouldn't been in the room, they would have checked the hallway and then realised that we just completely ditched them. So, sorry if you listen to this for ruining your night. Also, yes, I did steal Maltesers, also Pringles, and I think it was a bottle of Coke as well. So I think that's going to cost you $20. I'm really sorry, it was really mean, but when you look at it from my perspective, it was fucking hilarious. Oh, man. Is there anything better than being a douche? I don't think so. All right, guys. Sorry this podcast has been a little bit rambly. You can probably tell I'm fucked. Like, I'm not hungover because I don't drink, but I'm really, really tired and my brain's all over the place. If you're a Patreon supporter, you're listening to this on Saturday during the day. Otherwise, if you're a cheap cunt, it's on Sunday. But yeah, I'm recording this at like 1 on Saturday, so I only just woke up because I'm going to go out and see the boys again later. Okay, so now let's get on to the worst part of the podcast, miscellaneous bit at the end. All right, so I got 2 questions today. Here, let's go. Okay, here's the first one. Hey Lewis, if you have questions, by the way, I'm running low on questions. Can you send your podcast questions to contact@lewispears.com? I will give you some life advice, and we'll all laugh at how shit your life is. And I can keep you anonymous if you want. Just let me know. Okay. Hey Lewis, if you end up using this, thanks for putting it in the most horrendous segment in any podcast ever. Much appreciated. I'd like to remain anonymous. All right, I'm going to call this dude Michael. All right, Michael. My girlfriend of 2 years has nearly finished high school, and she intends to study medicine at Cambridge University. Fuck, she's a rich bitch. If she gets in, she would move away to England. She seems to want to do long distance, but I don't think I could do long distance for 4 years, and I can't afford to fly to England all the time. I really love and care about this girl. Also, she gives great head and is rich as fuck. See, I called the rich one. I didn't get good at blowjobs from Cambridge, though. You wouldn't really expect that. She gives great head and she's rich as fuck, but I just don't think it's reasonable to do long distance for that long. I'm worried that I'm going to be emotionally crushed if we break up, but I don't want to string it out even longer and just end up breaking up out of frustration, because let's be honest, when you're 19 and at uni with lots of hot girls, you just want to get your dick wet. Should I try and go the distance? I do really love her. Or should I back out now? Thanks, Lewis. Have a shit one. Thanks, Michael. All right, so look, I think you answered your own question, man. You don't want to do it. Clearly, you don't want to do long distance. It's not something that you want to do. So... and you're right. Like, what are you? Are you in high school? All right, I'm assuming that you are... You're 19, so you're in uni now, and you're totally right, okay? So you haven't experienced life outside of high school for very long. 4 years is a really, really long time. It's a fucking long time, and you're both in different countries. And she's going to get her degree in England, right? That's where Cambridge is. Doesn't that mean that she would have to stay there? Like, I don't know how it works, but I don't know if she can get a degree in England and then come practice medicine here. Does that work like that? Maybe it does. I don't know. But, you know, she might want to stay there, dude. She might love England so much, and she'll have all of her friends there. Like, she will be there longer, and she will know a lot of people longer than she knows you. Like, she'll be there for 4 years, and she's only known you for 2. So... And I'm talking in person. Like, obviously, after 4 years, you'll know her for 6, but she'll have in-person relationships with people for 4 years. She might not want to come back ever. And I'm going to be honest with you, long-distance relationships fucking suck, and very, very, very rarely do they ever work ever. The odds are stacked against you. You're young as hell. You could find another person, and I don't think that I don't think you should do that to yourself. You obviously don't want to do it. I mean, it's going to suck breaking up with her, but clearly you don't want to do it. I think you should just let her know that you can't do long distance and you're really sorry. Don't be a cunt about it. Break up with her properly, and don't be a douche. Don't just fucking ignore her one day. But yeah, I don't think you want to do it, so I don't think you should, because that's just going to make you end up resenting her, because you're going to be surrounded by a whole bunch of girls that you want to get with, but I've got this girl that I don't want, and you're just going to end up hating her, man. So I wouldn't do it. I don't think it's a good idea, and especially because she might not want to come back. And I assume you don't want to live in England, otherwise you fucking would be there, studying with her, doing whatever you're studying. So yeah, look, man, I don't think you should do it. And here's a good rule for relationships. I've been with my girl for 4 years. Here's a good rule for relationships, in terms of planning for the future. You can only, me and my girl, we do this, right? We can only plan ahead half the time that we've been together. So we've been together for 4 years, so we can plan ahead 2 years in the future. So we could be like, in 2 years, let's go to America or whatever, right? In 2 years, let's fucking, let's go hang out in England, and we could book the flights, right? So that's our little rule, and that was really cool when we were dating early on as well, because when it was only a month, we weren't planning shit fucking 6 months to go away and have a holiday, because we're like, we might hate each other by then. So that's a really good rule that I think, and 2 years, you're planning for 4. You've been together for 2 and you're planning ahead for 4. Yeah, dude, I don't think it's worth it. And you obviously don't either. So it's going to fucking suck. But she'll understand. She'll fucking know. You know, she's at the end of the day, most likely, she's thinking the same thing. So good luck, Michael. Let me know how it goes. I was yelling a lot last night. All right, we got another question. My name is Mark. I'm 18 years old and I've been a fan of yours for the last year and a half. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate you. As of writing this email, I've just finished listening to your most recent podcast with Luke Kidgel, and it's inspired me to ask for you advice on a serious aspect of my life. No, I'm not going to ask for your opinion on whether or not I should engage in a blatantly obvious threesome, or if I should attempt talking to a girl I'm infatuated with because I'm a horny adolescent male who's probably going to forget about the girl in 6 months. What are you talking about? I'm not trying to give you listeners cancer. Oh, you're doing a bit of a meme. All right. I'm currently finishing up my HSC, which is high school. My last exam is in a week from now, so I'm pretty fucking psyched for it all to end. I've also been doing music production for the last 2 years under a musical project called Built on Water in my spare time. Shameless self-promotion. You guys can look at it if you want. I don't give a fuck. Trying to crack the formula of making consistent dope EDM bangers, but I'm yet to still discover it. I've been accepted early entry into uni for a Bachelor of Business, which has boosted my approval ratings among my parents. However, it really doesn't excite me as much, as I just see it as another 3 years of school on top of the 13 I've just done, except costing 30 grand more. However, as creators, I think we can both relate to how our passions have challenged and rewarded us in ways that school never could. I really want to see how far I can take this project, but I know when it comes to these kind of industries, you can't half-ass it and expect to be successful. You have to throw yourself all in. Dedicating all the hours of the day, except for the ones where you sleep, to this passion to make it. Yeah, you're fucking correct. That's so true, man. You've got the the right attitude about it. And even then, you want to sleep less. I don't sleep much. I'd go for this, but the fact that I'd be doing it without a safety net is what scares the shit out of me. I have no current qualifications apart from an RSA and a P-plate license to save me in case I decide to invest my whole life into this thing, only to find out I wasn't able to crack into the industry, after God knows how much time I decide to put into it. I know there's potential to this thing, I'm just not sure if it's enough to make a living out of, or even to make it in the first place. My question to you is, what did you do when you were going through these thoughts about comedy? Were you okay with throwing yourself into the passion with no safety net, or did you have to pace yourself to get some kind of backup? Should I get myself a backup, or is there no time like the present, and should I just throw myself in after high school? Any advice appreciated. I hope this is one of the least cringy emails you've gotten for the podcast, and I hope the listeners don't get cancer after hearing my sob story as a first world adult trying to crack the EDM stardom. You're a legend for letting your fans contact you and trust you with their stories, and I hope that lasts for as long as it can, because everyone knows as soon as you blow up and crack the international market, you're probably not going to have that kind of time for us anymore. I don't see Jim Jeffries reaching out to his fans like this. I don't think Jim Jeffries ever did that, no matter when he was really small. And that's nothing against him. I fucking love him, right? And I've only ever heard good things. But I don't think he's don't think he's the type of guy to do that, you know? I think I'll always be doing it, no matter... I mean, obviously, I'm going to fucking sell out and completely abandon you guys, but I will talk shit about you. No, I don't ever see myself stopping interacting with fans, because I think it's cool. Thank you for the question, man. Appreciate it. So, look, I'm trying to think of what happened. This is what I think. I think that every single person should have a gap year. I think it's really important to go out and actually experience the real world, and everyone should get a job. I'm not talking about traveling for a gap year. I think that everybody should at least get a fucking full-time job to actually experience what a full-time 9 to 5 is. Because all of these kids, they go and they finish high school and they either do what their parents and society tells them and they go straight into university for another 4 to 6 years, or they go fuck it and they travel and then they go to university. None of these kids and what you have is when people finish traveling and they go to uni, they fucking come out with their degrees at like 22, 24 years old, and they've never had a job. They have never, ever worked full-time in their life. And then they have their degree, they get their full-time job in their degree, whatever it may be, and then they realize how much of a fucking depressing trap full-time work is. Not everybody, of course. Some people really enjoy it because they're working in their passion, but the vast majority of people hate their job. And that's true. They don't like their job. They might not passionately hate it as much as I do, but they don't like it and it doesn't make them happy, and they don't want to be there from 9 to 5. So I think that everybody should experience that. I think you should go out and you should experience that, and you should give yourself a year, man. This is what I did. I failed high school. I scored so low on my ATAR results that they didn't give me a mark, and I think that's bottom 30%. I went into the VCE exams, and I didn't answer most of the questions. I didn't know the answers. I didn't give a fuck. Actually, you know what it was? I knew a lot of the answers, but I just saw that none of this shit has any relevance at all to anything that I want to do with my life. Fuck it. I'll sit here for 2 hours, but I'm not going to sit here stressing for 2 hours trying to write as many words as I can to fucking get a good mark on an arbitrary score made by some cunt who's supporting a system that I don't want to be a part of. That I don't think should be anywhere near my life. Why score high on a thing that I don't want any... it'd be like me fucking running in the Olympics and trying to fucking get gold when actually I want to be a comedian. Why would I fucking try? Why would I even try to run fast? That doesn't have anything to do with what I actually want to do. If I had a gold medal for the 100-meter sprint, that'd do fucking nothing for my comedy. So why would I spend that much time training and running? It's the same shit for school. Why would I spend so much time learning calculus if I don't give a fuck about it? And then what I did, so like I finished in 2012, and then I didn't really know. I knew that I wanted to do comedy. This is before I started stand-up. I knew that I wanted to do comedy, and I knew that I wanted to try stand-up. This is when I was still in Face Beef and all that kind of shit, and we were doing that, and that was going kind of well. It was kind of slowing down, though. I was thinking about leaving that and pursuing solo. But I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I knew that I wanted to do comedy, and I knew that that was the only thing that I wanted to do with my life. But I wasn't sold on it, right? I was like, I really like this thing, but I don't think I fully comprehended how much I needed it. Like, I don't think I realized, because I'd just come out of school and I had no perspective, right? I came out of school, I didn't have to buy my own food, I didn't have to pay bills, I didn't have to pay rent or anything. Everything was paid for me. I was a child, and then all of a sudden I had finished school, and I wanted to do this thing, but I didn't realize that I needed to do it to be happy, until I got a job. So I was like, well, money would be cool. I've got enough time to get a full-time job, so I'll just try that and see how that is. And I got a full-time sales position. I actually really enjoyed that job, and I worked there for a year. Then I left there because it was commission only, and I just wasn't that good at it. I really enjoyed it, but I wasn't that good at it. There were some people there that were literally making... Commission only is, if you don't make a sale, you don't get paid. AKA, it's the fairest system in the world. You sit there and you call people, and however much money you make for the company, you take a really big cut. But if you don't make any money, you don't get paid. So basically you were calling businesses and selling them ads in magazines. And so I'd call a business, I'd be like, hey, I want $400 and you'll get an ad, blah, blah, blah. I would get $125, the company would keep the rest. So it was a really fair system, right? If you do your job properly, you get a lot of money. There were people there that were literally making $10,000 a week. I would see it. I'd see it happen. And I was probably only ever clearing about 300 or 400, like 4 sales a week. I just wasn't that good at it. I really enjoyed it, but I realized, it's just not my thing. I'll try something else. And then I was still doing a little bit of comedy, but I wasn't taking it seriously. And that's when I got my first kind of real 9-to-5 hourly rate job. I got a call center job and customer service. And I hated that so much. Like, I hated it so much with a passion. And I saw it was a real career job with progression. Like, I could stay there and I could make a lot of money. And I realized how much I fucking hate jobs with that. Because the sales job, that was good because everything was my fault. If I did well, that was on me. If I made $1,000 in a day, which happens sometimes, that was fucking great. And I felt really good and I felt a sense of achievement. But then I experienced real jobs. I worked in offices, I worked in call centers, I worked in a whole bunch of different places. And I experienced what an actual career job is. And for the first time in my life, I really knew that I had to do comedy. I always knew that I wanted to do it, but it wasn't until I actually got out into the real world and started visualizing moving out and having to pay rent and pay bills and buy my own food, and realizing the only way I could do that is with a 9-to-5 job with an hourly rate, unless I think of something else. That was when I realized I have to do comedy or I'm going to be depressed for the rest of my life. And that sounds like a really fucking heady thing. It sounds like a really full-on thing, but it's true. The only times I've ever felt actually sad is when I've had jobs. It makes me sad. I can't do it. And I think that a lot of people are like that. Most people. And I think that's why I don't want to talk shit about people who drink or whatever and do drugs. But I think from what I noticed in the cultures in the places that I was working, the reason why people drink and the reason why people do drugs, especially after work drinks and Friday night drinks and all that kind of shit, is to escape their own reality because they hate the one that they're in. And that's obviously not all people, but I saw that and I was like, that's fucking me in 10 years if I don't get out of this system. And that was when I realized that I, for my own mental health and for my own happiness and people around me, I have to do comedy. So what I would suggest to you, man, is you sound like you really want to do music, but you're not sure, right? Because you haven't hit the real world yet. You're in school. You might end up going in more school, and then you'll hit the real world. Here's the thing. You can be an accountant whenever the fuck you want. There is no time limit on being an accountant. You could start being an accountant at 40 and still make a fuckload of money, or a business consultant, or whatever the hell you're doing, a business degree, whatever you're doing, right? You can be a businessman at 40 and get a job and work 9-to-5 and make $100,000 a year. And you could start doing that at 40 years old. But I'll tell you right now, nobody is becoming a famous EDM producer at 40 after they've failed at their business career and realized that they hate it. If you're young, this goes to anybody. If you're young and you want to do a creative thing, or you want to do a sports thing, or you want to start a business, start it now. Make your fucking stupid, dumb decision, your risk, when you're 19, when you're 20, before you're 30. Because you've got no responsibilities, no kids, you probably live at home. If it fails and you go broke, your parents will bail you out. You've got no responsibilities. Fucking take the stupid risk and be an idiot and let everybody tell you that it probably won't happen, because I tell you what, the reality is it probably won't. If you're statistically speaking, you probably won't make it. That's a fact. But if you work hard enough, if you work harder than all of the other fucking statistics, all the other fucking numbers who have tried to do the thing that you do, you will fucking make it. And that's a fact. If you work harder than everybody around you in your industry, you will make it. Because you won't quit. And as long as you're not fucking working at one thing and repeating your failures and doing the same shit over and over again, if you continue to work and you continue to innovate, you can fucking do anything. And that is how I'm going to end the podcast. Good luck to you, mate. I'm sorry this one wasn't that funny. I'm a little bit fucking tired. This one's a little bit rambly. But I hope you enjoy this podcast, and I will see you next week when I'm actually awake. Have a shit one, guys.